Hello, and welcome back to the Self-Love Archives podcast. I'm your host, Julia Salvia, and I have Margaret here with me, the owner of Margos Low Impact Health Club.
You got it.
Okay, I was like, do I have the
It's
tagline?
a mouthful. It's a mouthful.
No, but it really gives the vibe and the experience that you're going to get when you come here.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because
You're welcome.
so the name actually came from, we didn't know what to call it, right? Like I came up with all these dumb names. And my husband was like, Margaret, it's yours, so just call it Margos. So when I had gone to file my taxes that year, our tax guy, he was helping us with it. And so he was just putting it in. And he was like, what's the name of your business? My tax guy's very
They're all like that.
I think you have to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was like, well, what's the name of your business? And I'm like, Margos? And he goes, Margos what? And I'm like, we're a low impact health club.
Like, okay, don't hurt me. This
Literally,
is
I'm
what
like,
it's
I'm sorry, I really didn't think about it.
I guess it was meant to be, though.
It was, and it worked out. And at first, I was always so nervous about the brand, and I'm like, is that too much, or does that really fit it? And now, as we're expanding and we're adding different aspects to what we do here, that's exactly what it is.
That is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
How did Margos begin? Because I go to Margos.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know, I go here. I come here. I'm part of the crew.
Yeah, you're like a VIP. Yeah.
And it only took me literally one session moment. I just had to walk in the door, and I was sold, because this is exactly what I was looking for in fitness.
So we actually had a new client today who literally said the same thing. This is exactly what I was looking for. And I think that's just what it was. It was I was missing this, and I had the knowledge and I had the know-how to make it a reality. And I just kind of felt if I'm missing it, then so are other women.
Yeah.
I was at a point in my fitness career where I was teaching so much. I really wanted to expand into my offerings as a professional in the fitness space, and I just wasn't feeling good for the amount that I was working in terms of working out, exercising, being with community, et cetera, et cetera. I still just felt burnt out, unhappy, really unhealthy in my body image, or what a healthy person looks like in my mind, all of those different things. I ended up taking a big step back and kind of honing in. In that time, my mom suffered a stroke, and in that I learned a lot about our neurological health and what we need to be doing. And I mean, my focus is women, because obviously that's my perspective, and that's something that I feel so tied to. But just in general for our bodies, what we need to be doing to maintain good health. And it turns out, from what I found, it's not what we're being sold.
Yeah. And I think you could tell that it's not that either, even if you've done the smallest amount of research.
Yeah, and I think people feel that, but they don't know what else to do.
Yeah, because
so
there's not many options.
Right, there's not many options, and you've been told this lie your whole life, right? No pain, no gain, suck it up, all of this hullabaloo.
Yeah, it's this very masculine approach, and there's
Very.
nothing wrong with that masculine approach, but when it's the
No.
only option,
Right.
is when it becomes a problem.
And it's also it's actually harmful for some people, specifically women. That idea is just not what our bodies need.
Yeah.
And so to be able to bring something to this space, I also a huge pillar of what we do here is community. So we really like to do events. We really like to, St. Patty's Day, just bagels out, just different things that just make you feel you're a part of something a little bit more. That's a big part of it. That's not happenstance. We won't be able to grow individually if we don't feel supported.
Yeah, I mean, in the middle of class, when we're chatting, or it's that little yap session while you're in the middle of
Isn't that kind of amazing?
doing the 30th leg lift and you're like, ugh, but it's laughing at the same time.
It makes it like a lot less hard in a weird way. Like physically it's hard, but mentally and emotionally you're like, I got this.
Yeah.
Because you're all in the same boat. We're all talking about the new trends or like the Oscars or like whatever we're talking about. Like I don't even know what we talk about half the time. We just talk. We just like each other.
Yeah, and I think it's so important to actually have that community in a space like this because it allows you to feel more comfortable, which is also, I don't know, in my head, comfortable goes, and not comfortable where like you're stagnant. I'm talking like comfortable as in safe, as in low impact.
Yes, 1000%. And like, I think the biggest key is just genuine. I've worked at other fitness studios that like promoted women in that like marketing sense, but then it was like, they didn't have menstrual care products available just in case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, those are the little things. Like the hair ties were like the shitty ones.
Or like rubber, it's like a
rubber bands. Exactly. Like, I don't know, like and this isn't.
You want to rip out my hair?
Right. This isn't to toot my own horn, but I was at Dollar Tree yesterday and I was like, wait, why am I only offering one hair tie? Everybody likes their own hair tie. So like I got different hair, like I'm like, why do I have to have just one hair tie in there? I don't, because I own the place. But I just mean to say like, it's so important to just like think about your community.
Yeah.
And be genuine in what you're giving them, offering them, like wanting them to like experience.
Yeah, exactly. What in your own self-love journey led you to actually creating Margos beyond that? Because I'm sure that it stemmed from something that you weren't being provided, not just as like a fitness professional or professional in the industry, but as a woman.
Wow, I think for me, that's such a very in-depth question. And there's so many like you just like, you were like, let's just do it. Like, let's just go. Wow.
Peel the onion back one layer at a time.
Yeah, right?
What's the first one?
No, so really like watching my mom go through her stroke was just eye-opening.
Yeah.
That like, we try so hard in life to do the right things by ourselves and by our bodies. And yet it wasn't just my mom, it was like the people on her ward and like, you know, like my mom's okay, thank goodness, but like other people aren't. Like other people have deficits their whole life after that. Like, and to me, it was extremely eye-opening in the fact that it's so layered. So I'm just gonna keep going and you're gonna have to make sense of it. But like even just like weight, right? We're told like we can't be overweight or this or that. So then we're told to starve ourselves. But starving ourselves actually is worse for you, like metabolically does so much damage than just being fine. Like we have such a problem in our society where it's like one side or the other. And I think for me, I've always thought that way. I've always been a person like, it's black and white. Like I've never been a grayscale kind of person. Like it's either this or it's that, or it's this or that. And watching my mom go through her struggles, I realized like, it's not this or that. It's everything. And it starts with just the intention behind what we're doing. And that's it. Like, so if you're somebody who wants to take care of yourself, that looks different than the choices you would make look different than somebody who your intention is just to lose weight and that's it. And I've interacted with clients and I've interacted with myself on both sides of it. And the love and the respect and the gratitude for your body and the amazing like organism that it is gets you so much further than the hatred towards it.
Yeah.
And I really like, and you know, my mom's stroke, like that was like a big point, but I think it was all little things around that moment that kind of like pushed me there. And I just kind of realized if we could create a space in the fitness arena that championed people moving, being, connecting, because that was the healthy aspect, not like the physical, not like that stuff comes.
Yeah.
But it's the moment, it's the process. That's what is quote unquote healthy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It's like, it's the that middle ground. It's like you said, it's this, it's that, but it's also everything in between. It's everything.
Everything.
It's everything.
Yeah.
And I think what's missing is it's just been so one or the other side. And I think a lot of women's health and fitness, even when it is focused on just women's health and fitness, it's very boring, to be honest with you. It's boring. It still has that masculine
because
taste to it.
It's my opinion when studying different businesses and seeing what other people are doing in like the women's health ecosystem. It's about sex appeal. Mm-hmm. So like that masculine energy is like, it's the undertone. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, it's distasteful in my opinion. Yeah. Because we exist outside of the male gaze. And you're allowed to feel good about yourself regardless. Yeah. But it's there. And it's like, it's uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. To me is what it becomes. Yeah. And you could see it too. Like I went to it was like a Pilates yoga studio a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And I had just I came off my birth control. I was really trying to focus and hone in on my health. And it was a lot for me. And I started gaining weight. Sure. So I tried to go do a lot more low impact because high impact was just not, like, I was getting severely bloated during the workouts. It was really bad. Yeah. So I was like, okay, let me try low impact. I'm not the biggest fan of like yoga or anything like that, but let's just try it. Whatever. I already didn't feel good like coming to the class. Like the energy was already a little, it's like you're starting something new. Of course you're going to feel a little wary because you don't know the space, you don't know the people, you don't know the energy. But I walked in, the energy already was kind of off, and I took that class and I took another and I tried to push through it, but it still felt off. It didn't feel connective to anyone. And then I leave one day and some woman goes, "Congratulations." I go, on what? Yeah, she looks at me. She's like, you're pregnant. I go, nope. Well, that was the last class.
It was the last class actually, and I in that moment I'm like, let me fuck with her because I'm really upset that someone just still doesn't get it. Yeah. I go, no, I don't want kids, because I knew it was the town I was in. Right. No, like you were like, this is the thing that's gonna get her. I know this is gonna get to her. So I was just like, well, if you're gonna fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you. So I was just like, yeah, I don't want kids. And she's like, no, I won't. I don't want them. They're annoying. We just went on and on as the walk to the car. Yeah. And I was like, as I got in my car, I was like, I hope you never, ever ask someone that again. Yeah. I understand it comes from like a kind, good place. Yeah, but does it? I mean, sometimes I think like, sometimes I think about this a lot. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I think about this a lot. I think about this a lot, I really do, because I try very hard to be a genuine person. Did she say congratulations to you because she fully meant congratulations, or did she say congratulations to you because she wanted to be recognized as the person that goes up to people to say congratulations? Do you know what I mean? Because if she really meant congratulations, I think a smile would have done, because you just don't know what people are going through. You don't know. I have no idea. Especially with that, like birth is a miracle. And you know how I feel spiritually, but I don't even mean it like that. I just mean the amount of things that are stacked against you during that process for a woman's body, it really is like against all odds. Yeah. And like to say that to another woman, I don't know, like to not know. I don't know if she really meant congratulations. I don't know. We're not going to go back and ask her, that's for sure. I just hope that she realized after that, like what she said and how she said it. But I mean, you told me that story and now I will realize, like, I'm definitely never going to do that. It's just like not the communities, like, as you said, were built on coming from this masculine place and not leaving that energy there, because I feel like that's all we knew. Like we know. Yeah, and I think we don't think there's any other way to exist. Move our bodies. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like what I love so much about here is like a lot of the combinations, the sequencing that I create, like I
get a lot of inspiration from my 18-month-old daughter. Like,
I love that.
yeah, well, because like the way she moves her body, like as she's learning, like those are the combinations, those are the things. And so like I see her get up, I see her get down, I see what she does with one leg. And I'm like, okay, like when did we stop playing with ourselves like that? When did we stop getting confident enough? Like the other day, she like rolled around in a way where she like hooked her form and she was like, whoa. And I'm like, yeah, but what if we did that? You know, and like what muscles would we use if we did that? And there's a confidence that comes innately. Like it's almost like primal, I think. Like what we do, there's a primal confidence that comes when you know that like you're okay. Like you could get away, like you could do this, you could do that, like I could roll around, you just know your body well enough to be able to manipulate it, and there's no more disconnect. And so that's for me where I see that's where I see we split, because I'm trying to promote connection and I see that we're still really stuck on disconnection. We're still really stuck on I say it all the time in class, arms, abs, ass. Everybody says full body, but what they're selling you is arms, abs, ass. That's not full body. What about your brain? What about your pelvic floor? What about your heart? What about your digestion? What are they doing for your lymphatic system? Like that's not full body.
And you're incorporating those things into each workout, into some of the workouts that you have, into some of the classes that you have. Like we do lymphatic drainage every single stretch class.
Yep.
And you're always telling us how these different movements for our bodies are helping to work our brains.
So for me, and that's I've always been the kid that in school, the teacher would call my mom and be like, can you tell Margaret that I'm the teacher? And as a kid, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, Mom. But now I'm like, I'm sorry, you need to call a kid's parent to remind them that you're the teacher. No, you need to do some work there on that one. But I digress. I've always been that kid that wants to teach, wants to help, wants to hands in. And I would get, not in trouble, that's not the right word, but at the other studios that I would work at in the past, they'd be like, Margaret, it's not that deep. Margaret, they'd be like, Margaret, they just want to have fun.
What?
Talking about you guys, the clients. They don't want to know that, Margaret. And maybe they do, maybe collectively as a society, maybe we don't. But I'm gonna not assume that, and we're just gonna let the people decide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let
me give it to you, and then you decide if you want it to go. Yeah, if you want it to go in one ear and out the other, or if you want to actually soak up this information.
But what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna purposely not tell you about your body. Because nobody's telling us.
No one's telling us about our bodies.
We don't know anything.
Who's telling us about our bodies?
Nobody's telling us anything. And then on top of that, they're not telling us about our bodies. And then they're pushing us into this state of disassociation from our bodies, to where you're not the expert on your body. You don't know. Are you sure? Oh, that's supposed to hurt. I don't know about that. You know what I mean?
But even then I would question, that's supposed to hurt. How do you know that this is not your body?
Right.
Even when I think of going to, whenever we have a fitness trainer or something like that.
Yep.
If I'm going to choose someone, or if we're going to choose someone as a woman, I'm going to choose another woman. I'm not going to have any expectation that a man is going to understand how my body works, because he's not in that body. But I would expect the same, vice versa. And
I would agree.
That doesn't mean that they can't learn.
No, it's not about value. It's not about small. It's not about aptitude. It's nothing about it. It's just about being able to connect.
Yep.
It's just about being able to have a rapport with someone in which they could be like, no, I get where you're coming from.
And I'll never say that I can connect with what a man's body feels like.
No, you
don't.
can't.
I won't.
Something that we talk about in our classes is even when we do push-ups, sometimes it's uncomfortable for your breasts. But I don't know that a man would know that.
Yep.
It's just you just learn things about you, and then you just share them with others in hopes that it can help them along the way. Yeah. And I like the space that we're crafting for women.
I do too.
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, I'm a part of it. So of course I do.
No, you're a great part of it, because you're part of the kaleidoscope of colors. You know what I mean? it's so cool to me. Like we have our class and it's like, oh, Julia's doing Bloom. Like, Julia, take it away. Like, tell us about it. And Magda, what are you up to? Right? Like with like Freehold Borough Records. Like we need more women who are willing and able to share about what they're doing, because that's just how we get inspired. And like, that's how we continue the progress that we've seen.
It's cool to see what everybody else is up to and what everybody else is doing.
People
Actually
that you
know
wouldn't
someone
even
beyond their
know.
name.
Right, exactly. Well, and so a big reason why I do that is because it like, somebody, like you have your, I'm pointing over there because like that's like usually your corner. So I'm like, but like somebody over here who doesn't really interact with you, or like who's seen you and maybe feels intimidated, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but like I've walked into a room before, I'm like, wow, they're so put together, or wow this, or wow that, you know? But like now they have something to talk to you about.
Yeah.
And that's the part of community building that's so invigorating to me.
Yeah.
Is like now they feel like they can. Because it's hard to introduce yourself.
Oh, of course. That's the hardest part of adult friendships.
Like, hi.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, do we still shake hands? Are we doing the fist bump? Right? Like
give you a
elbow,
hug,
but
like
yeah.
a hug?
It's
Like
weird. It's weird.
What is something about Margos that people don't realize is here from just like looking at it?
I think so much. I think like you really just have to like come.
Yeah. Like that one time. You just have to come one time.
Like that's it, one time. But I would say like if you're just looking at it like online, or like, you know, like you see our pictures or someone shared us, I don't think you can fully anticipate the metamorphosis that you're about to experience. Like the extreme transformation that's on the horizon for you, if you decide, there's no way you could ever even get a glimpse of that from our social media or our, you know, webpage.
Yeah.
That's definitely something that I'm trying to work on, but I don't really know that there's a way to fully encapsulate it and share it.
Unless you're physically here.
Yeah.
In the
space.
In the space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say that's like the biggest one.
Yeah. I completely agree. I could see that. But you offer the first class for free.
Yeah, so the first class is free. And that's kind of just like, to my husband's dismay. So we do everything together, my husband and I. He's as much a part of Margos as anybody, but he's just behind the scenes. And it's funny because, like I said, like I was always that kid that was like, I can help, like I'll teach, I'll do this, like to his dismay, he would definitely have wanted me doing like the lemonade stand, like entrepreneurial spirit, but it's not me. Yeah. So I really tried hard when we came up with our pricing and everything, like I don't want your self-care to be the thing that you get rid of when the budget gets tight. I don't think it's fair, you know, like I was looking, we're expanding and we're doing some different things, and I was looking at some other studios and what they offer and what they're pricing themselves at, because you need to know. Yeah. And I'm in this business and I do this work and I'm like, for what? What are they asking? Like that price, like they have no business asking that amount of money. I know what those machines cost. I know what it costs to pay an instructor. I know what it costs to keep the lights on. And I just refuse to do it. I just refuse to his, not that he's, you know, but like, he's like, come on, Margaret, we do need to make money. Like, but do we? So the first class for free, that's like truly just a way that I can say to people, like, just try it. Like, there's no skin in, like, there's no skin off your back. Like, you just do it. If it wasn't for you, then you got your workout in for the day. Yeah. And you move on. After that, we offer 2 weeks unlimited. So those are like unlimited classes for 14 days. And I say that that's so important to do because we all have done things where we're like, oh, I'm going to do this every single day. I'm going to only eat green juice or like, you know, whatever. Yeah. And then like life happens. Yeah. And so I feel like those 2 weeks gives you an opportunity to really understand, like, how are you going to use this space for you?
How are you going to fit it into your life?
Right. Or like rearrange your life to fit it, right? Because it's going to be a give and a take, but you're going to need that time to understand that and then to build from there. Then after that, we offer different packages based on budgets and needs. So I try really hard to just make it, you know, like take what you need, leave what you don't, you know?
Yeah. And it's something as a business owner to know that like you're doing something so great and so amazing here that you also deserve to make the,
That's
the
been
money?
really hard.
It's been very hard for me too, so I
Yeah,
totally understand.
like pricing yourself accordingly,
Yeah.
like understanding those like equations, right?
Yeah.
Like what is time worth and like how does that work? And like,
Sure.
like, okay, like you need X amount to live or this or that. It's not something I did right. I'm gonna be real with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something I did right. It's not something that I fully have a understanding of in that sense, because to me, this is where I mean to say, like, my husband will be like, Margaret, like, don't say that. But to me, like, if we're paying our bills, we're doing okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like
Because you have
that's
so
the kind of
much
person
more,
I am.
more depth into what you're doing here, that it's more than making money. It's more than being, a health club. It's more
Yeah.
than that. It's helping women be comfortable and happy with who they are beyond.
The amount of
workout.
lives we've changed. And I don't mean we like me. I mean like we as a club. The women, their stories, like I firmly believe this is just how I believe, and it's not to be disrespectful to the resource that is money, but it's just how I view it. You make it, you spend it, you lose it, you save it, you share it, like,
and it always comes back.
and it just comes back.
It always comes back.
That's how I feel. Like I've always been so blessed and fortunate that I've always just had enough. I've always had a roof over my head. I've always had food on my table. Like my daughter, she's clothed. Like that's enough for me.
Yeah.
And the currency that we get it's less about that, and it's
More about the impact that you're making here.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're a business, so yeah, we pay the bills, but like it's the tears, it's the smiles,
It's the tears.
it's
It's
the
the
like
tears.
that's the that's the stuff for me.
Yep.
You know?
I completely agree. How has Margos and the creation of Margos impacted your self-love journey personally?
Holy smokes. There's no way that it couldn't have.
Of course. I mean, of course, like obviously I know the answer, but like I can see it.
It's humbling.
Yeah.
You get knocked on your ass as a business owner, as a person, like, because here's the thing, here's the other side of it too, is like we're doing such great work, and I know that I can talk to you like this because you get it, but there's a lot of shadow work that happens too.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because like on one hand, you're uplifting people, so the people who aren't ready to be uplifted or who are too, in their own, I don't even know what you would call it, like their own bubble
Yeah.
of just hurt, because that's what
Yeah.
it is. That's always what it is.
Yeah.
They're going to want to sling that at you, right? Like put that on you or this or that. It's like there's a ton of like give and take and give and take. And so that's one end of it. The other end is like the amount of lessons that you learn and just like understanding and giving yourself grace of like, I don't have all the answers. I'm not gonna have all the answers. There is no, if I could just give any piece of advice right now to any entrepreneur who's ever listening, like there's no right way to do it. But we trick ourselves into thinking, like, did I not do this right? If that makes sense. So I would say for me, the biggest impact that this experience has had on my self-love journey is just understanding that as a person, I'm worth love, and I'm worth loving myself, and I deserve the grace and the kindness and the respect and the joy, like all the good things, regardless of if I quote unquote do it right. Like I'm allowed to make mistakes.
It's the fact that you did it.
And I'm allowed to learn,
Yes.
right? But it takes guts.
Yes.
It takes bravery. It takes courage to stand up, to say, "Hey, I have an idea. I have a dream, and I'm gonna make it happen." Because everybody has an idea. They have a dream, But do you make it happen? And maybe it's not at that moment in life for you. Maybe your dream is different, this or that. But it's gonna take a lot of work to make it a reality, and it happens in a way that you don't even realize. Like, I thought I was opening up a fitness studio, and what I really found out was it has nothing to do with fitness at all,
Yeah.
But self-love is one of those things, like, you think you get it, you think you've, like, mastered it, you're like, you're like,
Nope.
yeah, oh, like, yes, like, I did it, cha-ching.
We will never
No.
master self-love.
No, it ebbs and it's and it flows, and
Yep.
and then something else knocks you on your ass, and it's like, okay, well, all that work I did was to help me get up from this moment and to remember that I am worth it. And like,
it's not the mastery like of self-love. It's the mastery of choosing to love yourself.
Right. That's so beautifully said. That's so beautifully said.
But that's really what it is. It's not, you're not in a competition, you're not in a race, you're not in some sort of destination. Like I hate that when you go in the dictionary and like self-love is like a noun, I think. I'm pretty sure it's a noun.
It's like the thing of self-love.
Pretty sure. But it's not.
No, it's like a verb.
Yeah, it's not this. It's this ongoing thing. It's a choice. It's kind of like self-care. That's also a choice. Anything, self-discovery, self-reflection. Those are all choices. They're not places.
Your journey with self-love, how has that been impacted by your entrepreneurial journey? Because like there's two versions of us, right? Like there's the Julia that is the business owner who writes the emails, who like has an eye on her business. And then there's Julia, right?
Yeah.
Like
I think I'm so intertwined. I think all entrepreneurs are so intertwined in their businesses.
Yeah.
And that is who they are.
Yeah.
And it's not really, there is no turn off button.
It's true.
And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I actually think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
We are, as entrepreneurs, in this place of wanting, and most entrepreneurs, I can't even say most, I want to say all, are wanting something more. There's more of a purpose behind what they're doing and a why.
Yeah.
And that is so embedded in themselves. It's embedded in their values as a person. That is who you are.
Yeah.
So everything that you're doing for yourself in regards to self-love, when it comes to your business, your brand, whatever you created, it kind of like ebbs and flows, like back in this like circle, back into the business, back to you, into the business, back to you. And the more that you set boundaries, be kind to yourself, give yourself, know that you deserve whatever is, whatever you're making from this.
Yeah.
Because there's this back end of, we could go on a whole rabbit hole of like making money and how money has this very negative, like definition to it. Like when we think of money,
in our society, it's like,
negative.
It's really hard to talk about money because there's so much wrapped up in it. Especially as a woman making money.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But you deserve that. You're putting out something into this world because there was something missing.
Right.
Even if it's similar to something else, you made it different.
It's yours. Yeah.
It's yours, and it's deserving of the people coming in and out of the doors. It's deserving of the money that's flowing through the business. Like you're deserving of all of that. So your self-love journey as an entrepreneur is so enveloped in your business.
You couldn't have said it better.
Yourself.
And I feel that. Like I feel as though it's hard for me though to not intertwine my value as myself as a person directly to the value of my business. Does that make sense? Like just because like let's say business wise we had a really great quarter. Does that make me better or worse as a person? As a mother, as a wife, as a daughter, right? But it's hard because
that's coming from a place of like money. That's coming from a place of
what you're valuing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's coming from a place of, okay, well, is my business working?
Right.
But
versus the understanding of like, if people came in and people felt what they felt, then it's working.
Yeah.
Right?
It's kind of like being in the right place or wrong place, right time, or right place, wrong time, whatever that is. I think it was a violinist who is in like Carnegie Theater or something. Please forgive me for like, I don't even know, but
you sound good to me. Like you could just keep going. I get it. Yeah.
famous guy. Like I'm talking writes like these crazy like symphonies, orchestras, whatever, right? Extremely famous. Puts on loungewear clothes, grabs his violin, goes into the subway in New York City and plays. Do you think that he's going to get the same marketing, so to speak, in
like the same
subway?
accolades, the same,
that he would not? No,
different,
because he's not in the right place.
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And it would take someone walking by or seeing him or recognize someone else that is very aware of what it takes to be a good violinist to actually understand that's not just anybody playing the violin in the
like
subway.
that person's talented or this or that. Yeah.
And I think that that's something really important to come back to in like our businesses, where we hold our value for ourselves.
Yeah.
In our businesses. I think there's a fine line between the value of myself as a person and the value of the business separate from my person.
Yeah.
But to me, at the end of the day, if I'm changing one person's life and I'm helping someone smile today, or I'm helping someone feel better about themselves, or help someone out of a tough time in their life, or helping someone love themselves more, that's what makes the difference. That's where the value lies.
Right, and that's why it's yours and no one else's, right? Like, that's why you had to go through what you had to go through to build your thing the way you wanted it built. And
because just because a business fails, let's say, does not make it less valuable.
I would have to agree.
It just means it wasn't in front of the right people.
Yeah, or like there's so much that goes into business too. Like, I mean, even like, you want to know something that I didn't know about until I had to know about it?
Tell me.
Overhead.
The overhead cost?
What?
All I see is
what?
Like, what is the overhead cost?
Literally. Nobody that I ever spoke to, like, about my business plan, and like, I brought my business plan to places. I spoke to professionals. I spoke to mentors. I did it. You know what nobody said to me? Overhead.
What's your overhead?
What's your overhead? Like, there's so many reasons why a business could fail, and it's not because it wasn't quote unquote good.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not because it wasn't good enough.
Right. Even just like, I mean, what is failure anyway? Like, is failure just deciding to close because you just don't want to do it anymore? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, did a business fail just because it closed?
Yeah.
There's the person that I am now, and the way I feel about myself and the way I feel about what I do would not recognize the girl that signed her lease 2 years ago. We just wouldn't. I would just look at her and I would just give her a hug and I would just be like, good luck. Like you're gonna learn some hard lessons, but they're yours to learn. And like, I love you regardless. And like, your baby's amazing, so just breathe. It's gonna be fine.
All's gonna be perfect.
Yeah, and it's gonna go the way it needs to go, and you're gonna need to cry those tears. But like, the fear of making a mistake, I don't have that anymore. I would more so be more afraid to get caught in indecision than to make a mistake.
Oh yeah, and it's so much worse.
Oh, so much
to not choose.
Just choose. Just decide. Done.
To
decide.
not do something.
Yep.
Over.
You just pivot.
Yeah.
If you choose something, if you make a decision, if you like whatever, and it turns out that it's not for you, because it's not right or it's not wrong, it's just it wasn't for you, you just pivot.
Yep.
You just change your mind.
Or you tweak it. Like
the amount of nights that I spent poring over, like, what colors the floor is gonna be. We have to repaint them anyway. But like, I mean, that's a silly example, but it's the truth.
Yeah, no, it is true.
I've grown so much from that girl in those like short 2 years, on so many like levels. I also had a baby, which like you'd be like, are you okay? Like, I'm not. Send help. Men and women totally different. And anatomically speaking, like the strength needed, the routines needed, like it's just gonna be different. And so where I'm really like getting passionate and like where my business is starting to push me towards is like our female hormonal health and how our exercise regimen and how our like total health and wellness routine can support our endocrine system.
Yeah, because going back to what we talked about in the beginning, like, you know, this is a space for women.
Yeah.
It really is at the end of the day, because the industry's so masculine forward.
Yes.
And it really is. It's a lot of our systems are so masculine forward.
Oh, so many. And to be honest with you, when I was like building out my business plan, I was like, I would never make a business for just women or just men. I was like, you're cutting off half your population, like not even fiscally, like the returns aren't there, and it's just not the truth.
Yeah.
And
it's not that men can't be in this space. It's just
I think the way we say it and the way we feel about it is like they're welcome as guests always. Yeah. And like we actually have a few men who like have packages with us who really like specific classes who come, but they kind of just like know what it is. They know I'm going to talk about things that like I wouldn't say make them feel uncomfortable, but they know that I'm going to talk about things that maybe aren't geared towards them.
Yeah.
But
it's time for it to be like that.
Right.
It's time for it to be like that.
Right. And so like the thing is like there's value in being in this space because of like how good the active recovery stretch class is, or like how good the sculpt class is, or the sweat class is. Like there's value in this space even if I'm talking things about like our menses. Like that they feel like maybe they don't need to hear about. But frankly, like maybe they do.
Maybe they do.
Like maybe it wouldn't hurt to know about certain things that affect other people.
Yeah. No, I don't think that it would at all.
But it's just important to know that I'm not talking about, like I'm not talking about it, is what I mean to say.
It's interesting that we actually give a shit about welcoming everyone into the space, where other spaces aren't worried about welcoming everyone into the space.
It's wild.
Because you know when you first got here, you're considering it. You're like, okay, well, men.
Like they're,
you know?
Yeah.
But when we go into other spaces, there's no tampons in the bathroom. There's no talk about how this would affect my body.
Right.
There's not even a sentence about
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's because women are things to be dealt with. You know, and men are just, and I'm not like burn the bras, like that's not where I'm going with this conversation. What I just mean to say is like, it's okay to have a space that's for women that's not like decked out in pink. Like, like something that really bothers me is like, it doesn't really bother me, but I had business dealings with some people, and you know, woman business owner. What's it like as a woman business owner? Business owner. And it's like, I'm just a business owner.
Yeah.
Like there's no, like my business plan isn't in pink. Like I didn't spray perfume on it. Like my business plan doesn't get its period. Like it's just a building with 2 floors and clients that pay monthly and employees that get paid and insurance that gets signed. Like we're just a business. I just happen to be a woman, and that's my experience, and that informed how I built my business. But there's no
pink tax attached to your business.
Yeah. And
like just because you're like, oh, this is owned by a woman, why isn't it painted pink?
Right. It's like, it's just very interesting how it's surprising to people, my gender, my age, and the things they think they can say to me because of it.
Yeah.
Or like the assumption of what I have or what I've been given or not. Yeah. Because of it. And as a business person, you just, it's where other people are, but I try really hard to not treat people that way. I try really hard to like not treat my clients that way. So yeah, like while my clients are predominantly women, they're family people. They're hard workers. Like there's so many aspects to their lifestyle that I have to consider, and it's not just because they're women.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a huge part, but it's not like the only part.
Yeah,
you know?
It's like you're here doing something because you're a woman for other women,
right?
Because it's been neglected,
right,
in this industry.
Yeah,
but just because you are a woman doing stuff for women doesn't mean that this business takes this societal norm, which is wrong, which I don't believe in whatsoever, of women.
And like that's like it goes huge into like our branding, and like I try really hard to stay away from like pink and bows and like
Yeah.
like it's fine for other people. It's like it's just not what I want to do and what I want to make.
Yeah.
I want it to be a sophisticated opportunity for women to feel like grown-ups.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about your body. We're going to be talking about your pelvic floor. We're going to be talking about your sexual health. We're going to be talking about, your menses. We're going to be talking about these things. And you need to understand that, like, you're in a space that can support you in that. And if, like, if we just listen to Britney Spears all day, like, girl power, like, that we're beyond that here,
Yeah.
Some people aren't, and that's okay, too. But, like...
Of course. I think we're all tapping into different parts of
that feminine identity.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And rethinking.
And there's so many facets to it.
Yep.
And and like I think we're so blessed to be at this stage in time now.
Yeah.
That like we still have a long way to go.
Oh yeah.
But
look at where we
But
came
like we've
from.
we've come pretty darn far.
Yeah, it's like
I look at my daughter and I have hope. Yeah. I'm not just like, oh shit, how am I gonna explain this one?
Yep.
I'm like, I don't know, we'll give it 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's so much you do here on this floor.
Yes.
Here.
Yes. That support women.
But there's another floor.
And there's another floor. We recently opened our red light therapy room. And I think honestly, Julia, like I personally feel so honored to be able to like bring it to our community. It's a therapy that I have seen great results with in managing my chronic pain, in managing my inflammation, and in my skin health, specifically in my scarring from my C-section. Red light therapy was one of the main tools that I had used on my own. No doctor, no gynecologist. Nobody told me that it would be helpful. I had to do my own research. I had to do my own, my own efforts here. And frankly, I think it's a crime that it's not offered on a more regular basis to people to help manage their symptoms, to help manage like their overall health and wellness, as a tool that it's not pharmaceutical in nature, it's non-invasive, and honestly, it's pretty accessible. Like the machines, things like that. Like if doctors' offices, physical therapy offices, if they wanted to, if they dedicated the time, they could have it. I mean, look at what we did.
Yeah.
And
you have 4.
Yeah, so we did 4.
There's 4.
My
Not
dream,
one, it's 4.
my dream was like, I was like, why can't I just go get a red light? Like I would go, get my facial done, and they'd be like, do you want to add on red light therapy? And I'd be like, no, because I have the mask at home. But my dream was like, why can't I just go get red light therapy? Like, why do I have to go do a thing? Like, why can't I just I wanted it to be as casual and as like walk-in basis of getting a pedicure.
Yeah.
I want to do it, I'll get it done, and then just go. And so we ended up investing in 4. We did the 4 lounge chairs, the 4 panels. I personally added on after my teaching. I'll just sit in the room, I'll do some work. I know Teniel likes to journal. I've seen you listen to a podcast, or you'll vibe out for yourself. Other girls will read, some people sleep. It's 30 minutes of just sitting under the lamp. I call it a lamp. It's not really like a lamp. It's the results that you get from it are exponential. It's one of those things that you do have to maintain it. You can take a break from it. You can go back. It's something that, the more often you do it, you can lessen your time. So for example, if you do 30 minutes 3 times a week, when you get into that maintenance phase, maybe after 4 to 6 weeks, you could bring it down to 15. You don't have to, if you remember our old tanning days, the maintenance phase.
Yeah.
But it's made a remarkable difference in my mood, in my health, my skin, my hair growth.
So, do you think we should maybe do a little red light?
You don't have to ask me twice. Let's go.
No, I really think that Margos aligns so well. Like when you reached out to me,
Yeah.
I will say this. I am not someone that looks at menus before I go to a restaurant.
Really?
Because I love the surprise.
Okay.
Like I love the idea of not knowing and being surprised. And whether that's a good or a bad surprise, I don't know, it's a surprise.
Here we go.
What can I say? It's a surprise. So I didn't really look at anything other than just like the front page of your Instagram.
Okay.
Before I came here.
Okay.
And then I came here and you got me you got me in tears on the floor.
That's like my calling card.
I think that is like, you don't need to know anything. Just come.
Like literally just like be ready to cry.
I really think that people only need to come here once.
Yeah.
And they're sold.
No, I feel like we have a really great thing going where the right people are finding us. Like,
good.
Like the people that need us, like somehow, some way stumble upon us, and then they just find their community.
I love that.
Which is like so important, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. We're sitting under red lights right now.
Yeah.
Please tell me about it, because obviously you can't get the experience through a camera. You can
Right.
see the experience through a camera.
Right. So
You could hear the experience.
So these are red and near infrared lights, which that's like the little bit of heat. So like you always joke that we like look like rotisserie chickens.
Yeah.
And like you're kind of not wrong. Like
We're technically.
like kinda. But the way it works is this light obviously absorbs through your skin and it repairs the cells. It helps with your circulation, it helps heal the mitochondria. So you're going to see energy production, you're going to see mental clarity, you're going to see better blood flow. So in terms of recovery after exercise, that's great, but in terms of also like your lymphatic system, getting rid of your waste, the benefits are just exponential.
Yeah, I definitely feel like in tandem with so many other things I've taken from Margos that like I feel better, and it's just so relaxing to sit under this.
It's so relaxing. It's like a 30-minute nap. You know, you could like put your AirPods in or whatever. Some people like journal. What I do love about it is that it's non-invasive.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things that you can do, a treatment for yourself that you can do, that you're not putting a needle in, you're not cutting your skin, like there's no downtime, there's nothing. It's literally just come as you are, sit under the light,
Relax for 30 minutes.
and then go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get all the benefits. Soak it up.
Soak it up.
Soak it up.
Similar
it
to
up.
like the face masks.
Yeah.
So many people have now.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with the face masks. Like people are like, is it just red light? Yes, it's just red light. The thing is the amount of lights. So you want to make sure that like all of like the specs are correct. You know, there's certain like wavelengths, things that you want to like look for. But when you're working with a panel like this versus a mask, you're going to get more LEDs.
Yeah.
So the more light, the more recovery.
Yeah. Now, do you think
Yeah.
that we have gone, because we're basically the same age,
Yes. Yeah, no, you're like a few weeks. Your birthday's at the end of
February?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're basically the same age. So you know what I'm saying when I tell you we're coming from the age of tanning beds.
I think that's why I like it.
I think that's why I think we like it too, because it gives us the same vibe, but we know that it's good for us,
But
and
like
it's not.
the tanning beds did the same thing, right? Like it was
Yeah.
warm. It was like your 30 minutes if you did like a 30-minute bed.
Yeah.
It was like your 30 minutes of peace.
Yeah.
And you were just cozy. And then you looked good. Cause like,
Yeah.
let's be real, like a tan,
Yes.
if you can't tone it, tan it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that's the Jersey girl in me.
Yep.
I think it's the same thing.
It's if you feel good, you look good. Instead of if you look good, you feel good.
Right.
It's like flipping it.
It's flipped
It's
it.
like we've grown up. We're mature.
It's maturing.
Exactly.
It's maturing.
And that's why we just, it's in our blood. We like to feel like rotisserie chickens.
I realized a long time ago when I had started my journey, I could never teach the same class twice. Like we could do the same moves, we could do the same music, but like I could never capture the vibe, the feeling, the motivation
Yeah.
again, because it's so unique
Yeah.
to each person.
Yeah.
So something inside me like switched, or like a little switch flipped, where it was like, so then just be here. If you can't do it again, then do it once really good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like, so I'm at a point where like I teach multiple classes a day, but each class, even if you take, as you do, right? Like you take a sculpt and a stretch, like I try so hard to make it individual to the people.
Because then if you're repeating, like, I feel like if you're
It's
repeating the same,
dishonest.
that really powerful, like,
Yeah.
pep talk that you give all of us at the end, if you're repeating that, then where's the genuinity in it?
Right. It's
You know?
not. It's not real.
I have so many questions about how you memorized it. If you did repeat it.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah, like
That's
yeah,
why, like,
and that's probably part of why it never hit too, is because like you say it once the most perfect way, and then when you're trying to like remember, you can't say it again.
Exactly. And I think it's so clear that, and it's so much more powerful too.
So much. It's like sometimes I'm crying, like when I'm like talking to you guys and I'm
hold it
sharing
back.
with you, and like like you can probably hear my voice crack or this or that
If you
because
see me like
like
scratch my eye, I'm probably just wiping
like
a
just
tear.
dabbing a tear.
I'm just wiping a tear away.
That's so funny. Thank you for saying that, because I would see you and I'd be like, wow, I really haven't broken her yet. Like,
Oh,
like you hide it very well.
I'm really good at it.
That's why we do the towels at the end, the eucalyptus towels, so people can like hide their face.
Eucalyptus towel isn't for, you know.
It's definitely to keep your body temperature down. That's definitely the primary.
That's like, I was going to say that's secondary. It's
But-
actually primarily to wipe your tears away. Happy tears, motivational
happy tears, motivational tears, really like deep, sad tears. We're just crying.
We're
just
like,
crying.
really crying underneath the eucalyptus towel.
That's why like when men come and they're like, oh, like can I take a class? Like, you know, or like I want to come with my girlfriend. I'm like, oh yeah, like, or like, oh, are men allowed? I'm always like, yeah, men are totally welcome as guests. Like, because we're crying. like, do you really want to sit here and cry with us? Like,
I'm not going to say no, but
no,
like,
but I'm
are
definitely
you
not going to
sure?
say yes.
Like, are you sure?
like, I know how my husband feels when I'm crying. Like, could you imagine you take a Pilates class? Like, you just like go to the gym and then all of a sudden people just like stop and they start crying.
This is part of the class.
Yeah, like that's
What do you
it.
mean? This
Yeah.
is the workout.
This is the wailing hour. Yeah.
The wheeling.
Could you imagine?
Why does everything relate back
Like,
to like
what would you
an animal?
do? What would you
wailing
do?
hour.
I feel like I would just like look around and be like,
This is what I do every morning.
yeah.
Or every night before dinner. This is where I am. It's really just get the emotions out.
You gotta.
You gotta.
You gotta.
It's important.
Yeah.
And you hit at every single important thing that you need to be doing for yourself. It's like not just moving your body.
Yeah.
It's also taking time for yourself. And it's not just taking time for yourself and moving your body. It's also really listening to yourself.
I mean, I think that's a big part of like what a lot of the fitness industry is missing. It's like you take 2 steps forward and then, you know, like 2 steps back. Like if we're not starting to understand our emotions and we're not understanding like how they make a difference in how we tap into our muscles, how we talk to our body, like if we're not doing those things and starting that process, then you're kind of just wasting time. That's genuinely how I feel about it. There's enough science, there's enough data that backs it up. Like the metaphysical of the body is real. And it's extremely important to pay attention to that health and well-being as well.
Yeah.
And then vice versa, like there's a lot of people too that are just doing the cerebral work, right? Like we just go to therapy or we're just processing. We're just doing the mental aspect of it, but not allowing those emotions to travel through the body. And I'm not talking about tears, I'm talking about like push-ups, squats, being able to build strength so that those traumas or those things that your brain and your body are holding on to, that physical conditioning and that physical release allows you to then understand like, no, I'm stronger and I'm safer. And that's huge.
Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Self-Love Archives podcast. I feel so lucky to have had Margaret, the owner of Margos, a low-impact health club, on this episode. She is so kind and so sweet. All of her information, her Instagram, all of the details are going to be down below. But if you are looking for a new workout or a new community to be a part of to help you love yourself more, Margos is offering your first class for free. So make sure to go to her website, my-margos.com, to sign up. I'll see you guys in the next episode.